Hi folks, on this second Aerolite 103 video, I have gone back to the beginnings of this adventure. I've got some surprises for you. I hope you enjoy this video.
You could bank to the left a little bit, yes. You know, I mean,
This is Corey, the gentleman who sold me his beautiful Aerolite 103. Here he is preparing the aircraft for transport to its new home in North Florida. Corey has become a good friend and even helped with the assembly of my Aerolite 103 in its new home. Thank you, Corey. Now, I've been told if you want to learn to fly, you have to first learn to drive on the ground, as in taxi. So I am very happy to say I have a couple of good friends who can help me learn some valuable lessons. Thank you to William and Alina Scott.
Okay, so taxiing?
Yeah, just talk us through taxiing. What would a new person need to know about when they're taxiing?
So, when you're taxiing, or first learning to taxi, you want to stay at a low RPM so you're not moving too fast. It's no faster than just going on a really low gear on a bike. And if you have a straight runway, like I do, it's kind of the same as when you're landing. You're trying to stay in the middle of the runway, so when you're looking there's an even amount of space on both sides of the cockpit windshield. And you don't have to touch the yoke, but usually, just to get into the habit, you pull back on the yoke for practice, and then you're constantly tapping the rudders. You don't want to make too much of one correction to the left or the right. It's just constantly kind of your feet are lightly tapping on the rudders as you're going over bumps and everything, and you're just making a controlled taxi. And then if you're turning around, it's kind of, you want to stay to the end of the runway, and you have one of your hands on the brakes. And then once you get to the edge, you slowly use one or the other rudder and turn around. But the main thing with taxiing is you're constantly playing on the rudders. One thing that a lot of people forget to do is once they're in the air or on the ground, they forget to use their rudders. But those are kind of your most important instruments. So after you've learned how to taxi faster, you added more RPM, and you became better at keeping yourself in the middle of the runway. That's when you move on to the wheelie stage. It's when you bring your front wheel into the air and maintain a pitch of like kind of your climb attitude pitch. So you go a little bit faster than your fast taxiing speed, and so you add more power to the point where your wheels start to get a little bit light, and then that's when you pull back on the yoke, and your nose starts to come up, and you're constantly pushing back and forth, pulling and pushing on the yoke, and maintaining that same pitch. And okay, so again, you go past to that speed that's like a little bit faster than your fast taxi speed, and then you pull back on the yoke. It should be kind of close to your body, and once you start feeling your front nose wheels start to get a little light, your front nose wheel will start to pick up a little bit, and then you're gonna push back and forth on your yoke to maintain your pitch. So you don't just keep your yoke in one place, you're constantly pushing and pulling to make sure you keep that same attitude. And then incorporating that taxiing practice you had earlier to stay in the middle of the runway. And yeah, constantly playing with the yoke, dancing on the pedals, and then once you get to the end, you pull back on the throttle and slowly ease on the brakes.
Bluebird, Aerolite 103, ready for fast taxi 27.
The next stage, while you're in the process of doing your wheelie, you're going at a little bit of higher RPM. So when you're in your wheelie stage, if you kind of tug back on your yoke briefly, just like a quick tug, you should, your wheels, or your main landing gear wheels should come off the ground briefly, but you won't have enough lift to take off. So it's that same wheelie taxiing speed, and then you tug back on the yoke briefly, and your wheels come up just a little bit before you settle back onto the ground. So again, you bring yourself up to that wheelie speed, your front nose wheel starts to get a little bit light, and you pull up, but you need to add a little bit more RPM so that when you tug back on that wheelie speed, you can produce enough lift. So if you just do a brief tug, you'll just hop off real briefly. You're doing a tug, but you do have to push forward a little bit, because if you don't move your ailerons or your elevators in the back enough, going at a slow speed won't do anything. But you can do it at a slower speed. You just have to have more, I guess, yoke movement. So again, taxiing faster than usual, and then bringing up your nose for the wheelie, and you start feeling your nose start to get lighter, and then once you're getting close to the end of the runway, you pull back, slow down, and slowly ease on the brakes.
All right, do it again like that. That was really good, that last one, just so Wayne can get you from the other side.
Okay. So yeah, you go back to your kind of fast taxi speed. So it's that speed you use to get to your wheelie, but you want to bring yourself up to that speed so that your nose comes up a lot quicker than it did when you're just doing your normal wheelies. And then once once you get control of your wheelie, you push forward and back, and you'll come up just slightly.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't, and as always, I appreciate your comments. And thank you so much for the support you've given my channel. Until next time, take care. Please tune in next time for the Bluebirds update and rebuild. Okay, another view from Bill's hangar. We got, as you can see, we got struts on the wings right now. Basically stabilizing the airplane while we're working on it. And everything's coming along. Looking pretty good. Very, very optimistic now. I really like what's made some good progress here.